Okay, so when you're panning, there's a couple big rules that you never break. The first thing is you always have to keep it completely covered with water. If you have part of it exposed like that, this section in the back won't separate because it's not in the water and it can't fluff up and allow heavies to settle. If it's out of the water, you're losing your game. Another big thing is when you're moving, the shorter, faster movements, the better. If you start going big movements, you just get sloshing, you get big waves, and it starts mixing everything up instead of letting everything liquefy and settle. For this operation, there are going to be two main movements. There's going to be the beginning where you just get really aggressive to try and stir everything up. And then there's going to be just a really tight back and forth motion. And so I start every episode sloshing around a bit, and then I get back into that back and forth motion. And then once I do that, the last step is you start slowly tipping it this way, tipping it down. And that's where the big separation comes. The separation comes either you sit there and you move for hours, or you let the sample start to move, and that movement basically leaves the heavy mafics in the back while all the light lithics hop and move forward. And so by tipping it, it allows you to do this process much quicker. So short, fast movements, and then just slowly start tipping. And you'll see as you get through this about 5 or 6 times, the water will get really clear. You'll notice your lights go to the front, and you'll notice this nice black dark stripe in the back. So tip very slowly. You should take about 3 to 5 minutes to start from horizontal to get all the way tipped. And then you stop once your sample gets near the lip. You do a slow pour off on that same lip. And once it's done pouring, you scrape just with your pinky, and you scrape just the middle section, so right there. And that's because your heavies stay in the back, but if you don't tip and pour correctly, they'll actually come around the front. And so if you just scrape that middle section, you make sure that you save all your heavy minerals. And so that's pretty much it. You do that 10-15 times, and you go through your whole sample like that, and you have a much higher ratio of your heavy mineral that you want to either send off to a laboratory or send home to your laboratory or whatever. And so the next series, we're just going to go through this a bunch of times so you can see the actual splits when you're doing this correctly.